Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I am Shirley Ingram. Look, serving in two capacities this morning, but I am on the Southwest Georgia Housing Task Force, and this session today, educational training, is my other hat. This is based on the Southwest Georgia Housing Task Force, and I thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us on this morning. And for those of you that have come far and near, I know I have some of my other teammates from Atlanta on this morning. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is a educational session that I know you all would not want to miss because it will be exceptional. But for the Southwest Georgia Housing Task Force, our mission is to be a statewide leader in regional networking, enhancing the quality of life for everyone in the Southwest Georgia communities. Our officers are Ms. Patricia Fletcher Edwards, who's the director, Ms. Sheena Stevens, who's the secretary, Angela Harrell, who's the assistant secretary, and yours truly, Shirley Ingram, the assistant director. And with that being said, I will turn it over to our director, Ms. Edwards, to give you all an official welcome on this morning.
Good morning, good morning. And again, I say welcome to each and every one that's on. I apologize that my camera is not on this morning, but I certainly am glad to be with you all this morning. And I love our assistant director, Ms. Shirley Ingram. She brings such bright sunshine and brings a smile to your face no matter what you're going through with that beautiful energy. It's certainly the lift that I need this morning. We want to thank you all and welcome you all for being here with your busy schedules. We know that you have a lot of selections that you could make, but we're so glad that you elected to be with us this morning to get this information. I guess, speaker, we want to welcome you, Ms. Melody Pierce, a woman full of information and great resources that I think will be very instrumental for everyone that's here. Again, we want to also give a big shout out, never to forget Ms. Barbara Reddick, who is our illustrious, we call our illustrious leader in all points. She's a busy beaver, but she represents from the regional Southwest Georgia Regional Commission, and she does a lot of things. But have your ears open for some great information this morning. We have some announcements that will be coming up. We have something going on pretty much every month, but the month of December, I think we take that off. But we got some great things that's coming up. Ms. Shirley's going to remind you of it as we go forward. The regional task force, our task force is very busy about housing. And we want you all to just join. If you're not already a member, consider joining us and being a part, bringing your good ideas, bringing your if you're an advocate, especially in the area of housing, we need you. If you are a government leader, you're working in city government, county government, we need you. We need you because it takes us all to make it do what it needs to do from all points. So we are so grateful that you're here. And thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful meeting because it's going to be very good. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Shirley.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Edwards. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our guest speaker this morning. Ms. Melody Pierce is the Executive Director of WorkSource Southwest Georgia, overseeing services across 14 counties. With over 15 years of experience in higher education, nonprofit, and private sector organizations, she has successfully transferred her skills to her current role, guided by the pillars of integrity, dedication, compassion, and professionalism. Melody is committed to exemplary customer service. She holds degrees from Albany State University and Troy University and strives to exceed expectations without overpromising. So today's topic is becoming the best version of yourself professionally and personally by mastering effective time management skills. The highlights will be: why is effective time management critical, in the workplace and at home? How does effective time management create opportunities for growth? And what are some best practices for effective time management? If you all will help me in welcoming our guest speaker on today, Miss Melody Pierce. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Okay.
I can hear you.
Can everyone hear?
Yes.
Can you show some love, some emojis that you
Yes.
can hear? Thank you.
Well, I thank you both for such a phenomenal introduction and welcome. It made me do as Brown, if anyone is familiar with any of the Medea movies. I felt like Mr. Brown, and y'all talking about me, but I will be more than happy to try to rise to the occasion and do all that I can do to be the best version of myself today. So thank you all again for taking time out of your busy schedule. No, you did not have to log in to my presentation today, but I am grateful that you did. So I hope I do not disappoint, and I hope that you brought your bucket, and I also hope that you emptied it today, because I plan to pour a wealth of information and knowledge for you to apply moving forward, not just for you to sit it on your shelf, but for you to implement it and apply it in your day-to-day life. Now, everything about this presentation is going to be intentional, even down to the chess table that you see before you. When playing chess, it requires strategy, it requires thinking, and it requires patience. And all those things are effective when you're looking at time management skills. Okay, the objectives, as Shirley mentioned, will be: why is effective time management critical in the workplace and at home? And I think someone in the listening audience may never connected the dots, because we always talk about time management, but a lot of times people don't put it in the conceptual of how does it apply to not just the workplace, but at our day-to-day home life. How does effective time management create opportunities for growth? And why, and what are some best practices for effective time management? How to define time management? Time management is the process of planning and exercising conscious control of time spent on specific activities, especially to increase effectiveness, efficiency, and productivity. What does it impact? It impacts your work, your social life. It impacts your family, your hobbies, your personal interests, your commitments. Now, ponder on this poem by the late Reverend Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. So ponder on that for just a moment. Let it sink in, that 1 minute and the significance of that 1 minute. Now, I'm gonna ask this question, and I want some feedback. Do you have good time management skills? Do you feel that you have good time management skills? How many people feel on the Zoom that they have good time management skills? Don't be afraid. Not everybody at once, but who all feels they have good time management skills?
Sometimes I feel like I have it, and then sometimes I don't. Reason why I say that is because um my phone, have alarms like 3 o'clock. I know to make sure that I'm out waiting on my daughter, at school when she gets out of school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Time for me to get up for prayer. I try to make sure I'm up before the actual time for prayer. Um, Coming to work after I drop her off, instead of being to work on time, I'm always an hour early to do things before everyone comes in before the time is, for us to open. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good with a little bit of time management, a
Well,
little bit.
that's impressive. That's impressive. Well, I will tell you this, when Shirley announced at our board meeting last week that I was presenting, and the topic I was presenting on, my team wasn't surprised that I was doing the presentation. But when they found out the topic, they asked, Shirley must have picked that topic. I said, I picked it because time management is not in my wheelhouse. But anytime I am asked to do something, I always pray first and I always ask, what is it that I need to cover? And it was in my spirit. So anytime you present, not only does it benefit the audience that you're presenting to, but it also reinforces for you as the presenter. Anybody else wanna step out and say if they got good time management skills? Okay, well, I'm going to put it to the test in just one moment. If you all would, please take out a piece of paper, a pen, or however you can write something down on, but take that moment to take it out because we're getting ready to do an exercise. And please let me know when you're ready for us to begin.
Ready?
All right. Okay. 24 hours in a day challenge. Let the fun begin. On your piece of paper, you see the questions you see the different numbers before you. And the question is, how many hours are dedicated for the following activities? So you have 24 hours now. So based upon the 24 hours in a day, how many hours do you set aside for eating? Or it could be minutes. How many are you setting aside for sleeping? How many for your yard work? How many for working on your job, reading or watching TV, or taking work home, looking on social media platforms, texting, talking on the phone, running around with your children or your grandchildren, exercising, cooking, meal preps, shopping, whether you're doing it online or going to the storefronts, spending time with your family and friends, grooming or hygiene, housekeeping, laundry, running errands, working after hours, attending church, social activities, recreational activities, spending time with your pets, surfing the internet, doing school work or checking school work, and most importantly, self-care. How much time are you spending in self-care? So I'll give you all a couple of minutes to, and budgeting and paying bills. So I give you a couple of minutes, and once you are complete, once your task is complete, then I'm going to ask for some volunteers.
Melody,
Yes.
I would all like to add your original question about time management in the
Mm-hmm.
chat box. Tanisha had 50-50, depends on the day and amount of work.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. Okay. In the chat box, we have there are two number 12s. Let me
Okay.
see. What you said.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
tell her
yeah.
don't worry about the numbers.
Okay,
So don't worry about it. Just
okay,
put budgeting and paying bills, and then underneath do the grooming and the hygiene, and just put your percentage beside it. It's okay.
okay. All right, that was in the chat. Let me see if I see anything else. Okay, I think that takes care of the chat for now.
Okay, thank you, Shirley.
You're welcome. Trying to see, is Amanda on? I sent that information to her.
Yes, she said she got it.
Yes. Okay, I see. Okay.
Thank you, Shirley.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, I have a crazy question. I know you saying looking on any social media platforms. Um, how about, would it be okay, like say for instance, you have the social media like YouTube playing like ministers in the background, or playlist, musical Christian playlist on your while you're in your area. Would that be considered as your hours?
Yes, ma'am. It
Okay,
would
and
be.
then throughout your day, you're getting text messages from people till it's time to go to bed.
Especially, and then the difference, and I say that is, you might, some people may put their phone on what notification, and others of us may every time a text come through, we gonna stop and we gonna read it, we gonna respond to it. So I'm talking about those of us who, when the text come through, we actually take time out to read it and respond to it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I like that y'all putting some thought behind this. I love it. Giving you some soft music to work through.
Melody, do you have music playing?
I do.
Okay. Oh, I'm about to say, well, I don't hear it.
You don't hear it.
I don't. Maybe someone else does, but I don't.
I don't either.
What
Okay,
about
yeah.
now?
Okay.
Do you hear it now?
Wait, a little bit. Wait a minute. Let me see.
No.
No.
Hmm. And it's soft jazz.
Well, since you said music, I'm like, wait, where's the music?
I'm feeling a certain kind of way about this.
It came on for a moment and then it sounded like it
Yeah.
went away.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
We appreciate the effort, though.
Thank you. I tried. And I mean, it's nice too. I like some good soft jazz music now.
Yes, ma'am.
I enjoy it. My goodness. And whomever's ready, not rushing anybody, but ready to tackle it, go right ahead.
Good morning, everybody. This is Kathy Johnson.
Ooh, hey, Kathy.
Good morning, Kathy.
Hey, I'm not ready to give my list. I'm actually in the car driving down the road, so I couldn't do the exercise. But I just wanted to say this is it's tough because I was thinking about if you're multitasking, it's the same amount. And so if I'm doing something in the same 30 minutes, kind of like what the lady was saying earlier, is it the same 30 minutes if I'm doing 3 things in that same time frame?
If you think about it, then what would but think about this. Growing up, I recall my grandmother used to always say, you can be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. So
Right.
when you think about it in that context, if I am doing 3 different things at the same time, what is going liking?
Okay.
But if you are, in a sense, listening to music, okay, and let's just say while you at work, that's your calm place. So you are sharing space with 8 hours a day or 5 hours a day or 3 hours a day listening to music, but it all still wraps up with your work day. But think about it. Are you really listening to music all that time? If your phone rings, then what you're going to do? You're going to mute your music. If somebody comes into your office, you know, it really is a critical thinking of how much are you really spending doing each of these activities. Unless your music is just playing, you're in and out of your office. But all of this is to say, how much time am I dedicating? You know, how much time am I dedicating to eating? You know, are you dedicating 30 minutes or are you just really eating it on the run? So when you start looking at it, and my hope is this, with this activity, is to start having you to start thinking about how you're spending your time and how it impacts the overall well-being of yourself. Because if you're just eating and you're not really eating, you started off eating, but then you stopped eating because you're multitasking, and then you went to start doing something else. And by the time you go back to your food cold, so no, I don't want to eat it. So it really is to start putting us in the right direction of, are we really being effective with the time that we're blessed to have? And with that, are we using it effectively? Is it efficient? And is it rolling out to the well-being and the productivity that we need for it to be? If that makes sense. That makes sense, Kathy?
It does, because I've shared that when people are saying that they are overwhelmed, not really knowing what that looks like, because overwhelmed can look like, you know, different things to different people. To actually kind of journal your work day, journal what you're doing from day to day, and kind of see where you're spending your time and what's taking up most of your time. So I've often given that suggestion to people.
That's right. That's a great suggestion. And that's really like what this exercise is all about, really. Where's the majority of your time being spent? And is the majority of your time being spent, is it productive? Is it allowing you to be effective and efficient? Is anybody else ready to share?
I just have I guess a comment. I think I realized, and I've realized this a long time. I don't have enough time in the day. I'm not effective at my own self-care. If that makes sense? Like my day is packed with work, right? Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like you said earlier, I'm eating on the go most of the time. Like I'm eating and working or eating and going somewhere. So, that, like you said, I'm not dedicating the time. I'm just fitting it in.
That's a beautiful analogy right there. Absolutely. And this is I'm like Planet Fitness. This is a judge-free zone, because I'm guilty myself. I'm guilty. And again, this is to help me as well. But the intent of the activity is to really allow us to start really thinking about how are we spending these 24 hours in a day? It goes back to the poem, you just got 1 minute, but that 1 minute is 60 minutes into an hour. That one hour is equivalent of make up the 24 hours in a day. How are we utilizing our time? And how can we, and that's the intent, how can we get to a better place that we are not overwhelmed and we are not burnt out? But that's the whole intent, for us just to sit down and say, okay, what does my day look like? And how much time am I putting towards eating? How much time am I putting towards sleeping or working out in the yard? Or how much time am I putting on the job? Or how much time am I reading or watching TV? Or how much time am I spending on the social media? Am I spending too much time on social media? How much time am I spending throughout the day texting, when I could pick up the phone and just call the person? And that'll probably eliminate half of all the texting, majority of it. How much time am I spending exercising or cooking or meal prepping? How much time am I spending shopping, whether it's grocery shopping or retail shopping? How much time, and at the end of the day, to me, this is one of the most important ones. How much time are we really spending with our family and our friends? Because we do know that time we cannot get back. How much time are we spending on budgeting, paying bills? Are we just, well, I think I got it, so I just go to the store and you just spend, and you don't know if you have it or not. How much time are you spending with your housekeeping or running your errands or working after hours or attending church or any religious affiliation or social activities or recreational activities, or if you have pets? And pets are very therapeutic. Or just on the internet surfing. Sometimes I like to go on the internet just to watch pet videos, some of the most funniest pet videos. Or are you doing your schoolwork, or you're checking somebody else's schoolwork? And most importantly, you all, 23, self-care. Because at the end of the day, if you're not in a good place, all the other categories that I just asked about, it's not gonna happen. It all rolls up under that self-care. So that's just food for thought, and to get your mindset thinking, not just right now within this hour or hour and a half, but when we get off this Zoom call for something, like I said, I want you all to put this in your toolbox, and I want you to apply it to your daily life from now until you take your last breath. How can I maximize the time that I have been blessed with? That's all. So I hope this exercise was beneficial to everybody.
Melody, I wanted to add, even though when we look at the things that need to be done, like throughout the day, you can always try to prioritize to see, well, what do I really need to do? But there's always something that's going to come up. And you might not even get to that. And I'm at a place now that if you can't get to something, that it's okay to say that I did not get to this, or I can't, or I can't get this completed today. But communication is good, when you can't do that. But again, if you're just, just rushing and you're getting you feel that you're just bombarded with so much, then it can affect your health and all. And you talk about that self-care, then when you get sick, can't do nothing for nobody, can't even do nothing for yourself.
Correct. I agree, Shirley. You know, I'm the advocate for that.
Yeah.
Melanie, can I share something with you as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, back in November of 2013, I had to have a stent put in, and the doctors couldn't find out why I was having all these chest pains, and come to find out one of my arteries was 90% blocked. And it was all in relation to me just being overwhelmed with a whole lot of stuff. I wore so many hats, and I had to get to a point to where I was taking better care of myself, exercising more, eating right. And they also had me to make a list of everything that I did on a daily basis. And then I started marking off the things that I really didn't have to do. A lot of things that we think we just got to do this, we really don't have to do it. And that will clear up a lot of our time, a lot of space for us to have that opportunity to take care of ourselves. And just like Ms. Shirley was talking about, that self-care is very important. So now my supervisor was just just telling me how she don't know how she's doing this, because she does so much on a daily basis. And I said, yeah, that used to be me. But I see now that looking at this list that you just had us to do, that I'm kind of picking those things back up. So I thank you for showing me this. So now I can start marking off some things, because I don't want to go back to that era.
That's right. That's right. That's beautiful. That's so profound. Thank you. And anyone, please feel free. This is all of our presentation. If you want to share, because I want you to know you didn't help somebody. You didn't help probably a lot of somebody's. And again, this is a judge-free zone. And if you cannot be vulnerable in a sense of sharing, because I say this to anybody, every experience that we go through, it's to help other people as well. Because you don't never know what a person is struggling with. And everybody's not going to be the first one to the table and say, hey, I'm going through that too. But they can listen, they can relate, and they can go back and say, you know what? I need to do the same thing. So please feel free. Please feel free to share. Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was powerful. Now, here comes some more interaction. And there's, I want you to feel free to shout out your answer, and then we'll get to the correct answer. But I just want to see the thought process. Why is time management important? Is it A, it helps you avoid work entirely? Is it B, it reduces stress and improves productivity? Is it C, it allows you to work long hours without breaks? Is it D, it ensures you complete all tasks without any errors? Anybody want to take a tackle at it?
The chat box is full of B's. It reduces stress and improves productivity. Oh, and I see a B and a D.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Well, Shirley, you be the official answer giver. It reduces stress and improves productivity. All right, Shirley, take number 2.
Oh, what is the first step in effective time management? A, making a to-do list. B, prioritizing tasks. C, setting deadlines for each task. D, identifying your goals. Okay. Okay. I see a lot of B's and D's.
All right, let's.
Yes, prioritizing tasks and identifying your goals. Oh, and I see one, all the above.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, let's see, Shirley.
Yes. D, identifying your goals.
All right, here we go. I'll take this one. How
Okay.
can you prioritize tasks effectively? A, by working on tasks in the order they were received. B, by working on tasks based on their complexity. C, by working on tasks based on their urgency and importance. D, by working on tasks that are easier to complete first.
All right. And we have a lot of C's.
Oh.
Yes, by working on the tasks that are easier to complete first.
Oh,
Wait,
that's D.
that's C. No, that's B. Okay, wait.
No, D,
Oh,
D,
C.
D.
By working on tasks based on their urgency and importance.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
But
okay.
but I must admit, sometimes I'm guilty with that D because I can mark some off because it was
Uh-huh.
easier to get done.
Make you feel like you didn't accomplish something.
Yes. Yes, but the majority answers in the chat are with the C.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
By working on tasks based on their urgencies and importance. Awesome. Okay, Shirley, take this one.
Okay. Question 4. How can saying no help with time management? A, it helps you avoid all commitments. B, it allows you to focus on your own tasks and priorities. C, it prevents you from ever t- ever taking on new responsibilities. And D, it increases stress and workload. And I see some C's and some B's, mainly B's. It allows you to focus on your own tasks and priorities. And the C was it prevents you from ever taking on new responsibilities. Your majority are B's.
All right, let's see.
Yes.
Yes, all right, I'll take this one.
Okay.
Here we go. How can you avoid procrastination? Wow. A, by setting unrealistic deadlines. B, by taking frequent breaks. C, by breaking tasks into smaller steps. D, by avoiding making to-do lists.
All right. And the majority in the chat says C, by breaking tasks into smaller steps. And there is an A, by setting unrealistic deadlines.
Right, here we go. C, by breaking tasks into smaller steps. All right, Shirley, take it.
Okay, question 6. Why is it essential to avoid overloading your schedule with too many commitments? A, it allows for more breaks and free time. It ensures you complete all tasks on time. C, it reduces stress and prevents burnout. D, it eliminates the need for prioritizing tasks. Okay, I see a lot of C's. It reduces stress and prevents burnout.
All right. There it is. Woo, woo, woo. All right.
There it is.
I'll take the next one. How can time management help improve work-life balance? A, by increasing the number of work hours. B, by reducing the number of tasks to complete. C, by allowing for more leisure and personal time. D, by eliminating the need for prioritizing tasks.
Okay. Definitely C. Everybody's in agreement with C.
All right.
Oh,
Let's
and there is one B. There's
Okay.
one B, but the majority are C's.
All right. C, by allowing for more leisure and personal time.
Taking
All
time.
right. That was a great activity. And I'm sure it made a lot of us start thinking about things. Types of time management techniques. You have what is called Parkinson's law. British historian Cyril Northcote Parkinson became famous for the phrase, work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. In other words, the amount of time you give yourself to complete a specific task is the amount of time it will take you to complete that task. That's something to chew on, isn't it? Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. In other words, the amount of time you give yourself to complete a specific task is the amount of time it will take you to complete that task. Then you have time blocking method. Inventor Elon Musk is known for being productive. He manages his time so efficiently that he can work over 80 hours a week and still make time for himself. What's his secret? Time blocking. Then you have the getting things done method, created by author David Allen. This process helps you to get things done by recording tasks on paper and then breaking them down into actionable work items. Now, how does the Parkinson work? Well, its concept is try working without a computer charger. So I guess depending upon the amount of storage time, it's going to force you not to be distracted. This will force you to finish a project before your computer dies. Get it done early. Instead of finishing an essay by midnight or whatever your task is, try to get it done by noon. Set a deadline. Give yourself a set time to do something and then cut it in half. Limit time for tasks. Give yourself only 20 minutes in the morning to answer emails. Now, how many of you all think you all can benefit from the Parkinson law? And I'll tell you the types of people who benefit from it. Procrastinators and people who work well under pressure. So do I have any undercover people on the call that can relate to the Parkinson law?
Well,
all right, then we have the time blocking method. And how that works is divide a piece of paper into 2 columns. On the left, write down each hour of the day and create blocks of time such as half hour or hour chunks. Then estimate the time it's going to take to complete each of your tasks and fit them into your time block. Then add buffer times in between each time block to allow for adjustments during the day. Now, do I have anybody on the call that can relate to this particular method? Now, the people that benefit from it are working students or parents or analytical thinkers. Then we have how the getting things done method works. First, capture the actions that you have that have your attention. These actions are tasks that can relate to anything from work to school to your personal life. Clarify what they mean. Decide whether the tasks that have your attention are actionable or not. If any item is not actionable, ignore it for now. If the item is actionable, do it, delegate it, or set it aside. Organize your actions. Prioritize your to-do list according to what you need to get done when. Reflect. Review your list of actions frequently to determine your next priority. Cross off tasks you have accomplished and update your list. Engage. Take the actions or smaller tasks you can complete right now. Now, do I have anybody that can relate to this technique? But I'll tell you what people benefit more from this type. People who struggle to focus on one thing at a time and people who feel overwhelmed in their daily lives. Now, keep in mind, there are numerous techniques, those three that's kind of stuck out to me, but there are numerous techniques and models that can be applied to your day-to-day life to help with time management. It's not a one-size-fit-all. You just find the one that works for you. And if that style doesn't work, guess what? Try the other method until you find the one that allows you to be productive. Effective time management does equal growth. Shirley, read that for me, please.
Okay. By managing time effectively, individuals and teams can allocate dedicated time for learning and development, leading to personal advancement and team progression. This enhances performance and equips them with new skills and knowledge for future growth. Okay.
What's wrong, Shirley?
Okay, no, I was looking, I was saying, oh God, am I on mute? I was looking at Cynthia, I'm like, wait, am I on mute?
You
Okay,
coming through loud and clear.
okay.
Now, this particular, how does it apply to working with a team? So when teams manage their time well, they create space to pursue growth opportunities. This includes learning, skill development, and exploring new projects, which expands the team's knowledge and positions them for success in a competitive environment. So when you're working as a team, you already know that one is like a building block. Everyone is dependent upon the other. Now, individual benefits. Effective time management allows individuals to allocate time for personal and professional growth. They can invest in learning, skill development, and pursuing passions outside of work, leading to personal growth and expanded horizons. And I'm just going to put a pin in this for just one moment and say this. We should never be at a point on our job that we feel that we are too busy for professional development. Because regardless of what your job title is, your duties or your responsibilities, somebody is looking to you and that particular profession as the expert. How can we be the expert if we're not going for continuing education? If we're not investing and learning new things? Because just like our phones, our technology changes, the way in which we do things have changed too. And I promise you, the way that things were done in 1980s is not how they were done in the 1990s, or even in the early 2000s, or 2010. We are in 2024. So, in the words of A Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, we are no longer in Kansas. So we do have to take time out for professional and personal growth. So if we have to go back to that exercise where I listed all the different activities and how we spend our day, and we got to go back and mark some things off, but we should never be too busy not to invest in professional development or personal development. Because at the end of the day, whether it is your coworkers or the constituents or your customers or your clients that are dependent on you, or if it's your family members that are dependent on you, somebody's dependent on what you know. So just keep that in mind. I just wanted to drop that golden nugget off. Effective time management equals growth. Time management is an invaluable skill for career success. It empowers individuals to be more productive, reduce stress, and achieve their career goals. When coupled with self-assessment, time management becomes even more potent, as it allows individuals to tailor their approach to their unique strengths, weaknesses, and aspirations. And keep in mind, it is unique to you as an individual. Now, time management best practices. At work, start your day with a plan. You know, it's good to plan, but when you plan it, write it with a pencil, okay? Don't write it with a pen, because things do happen. And you might have to erase, you might have to move something up or down your list, but at least you have a plan to start with. Prioritize the most important task. Right there with a pencil too. Divide larger projects into smaller tasks so it won't be so overwhelming. Limit your distractions. And that goes back also to that list, that activity that we did. Distractions, some people say there are such thing as good distractions, but a lot of times most distractions are exactly what they say they are, distractions. And leave emails for later. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying don't check your emails, but prioritize your emails, or of course, if your boss emailing you, that's a priority email. So prioritize it, but don't spend all day on emails. If you say to yourself every hour on the hour, at the top of the hour, I'm going to check my emails. So at least you are staying in touch and you're not going to miss anything that's important. And now, how does that apply for at home? Plan out your week. There's nothing wrong with sitting down on Sunday and saying, okay, this is what Monday looked like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But again, write it in pencil. Just write it in pencil. Then number 2, put it back where it belongs. Now, that's easy to do when you live by yourself. I know some people might have multiple people in their house. Some people might have little people in their house. So you might have to go behind the little person and try to put it back where it belongs. But for the adults or the ones that are able-bodied in the house, try to train them to put stuff back where it belongs. It makes your life a whole lot easier. Create a landing strip. And what I mean by that is have a central location where you put your car keys. Have a central location where you put certain things so you don't waste time 10 or 15 minutes trying to find your keys, or 10 or 15 minutes trying to find this or that. Have a central location. Delegate. It is perfectly fine if you have multiple people in your house. If you don't have multiple people in the house, you have to delegate to yourself. And what I mean by that, you may have to say, okay, I'm gonna delegate an hour to washing dishes. I'm gonna delegate an hour to washing clothes. You got to delegate to yourself so you don't be all over the place. And then tweak, adapt, and improve. That's why I say with that pencil. You might have to tweak this. You might have to adapt to that. You might have to say, okay, I might have to do this a little bit better. And then get up earlier. I know sometimes we want to stay in that bed, but the longer we stay in the bed, the further it pushes us back on things we need to do at home. Another best practice for work, ditch handwritten to-dos and use a tool. We got so many tools on our smartphones or on our computers. Let's just embrace it. And everybody doesn't have an Amanda or a Pasha or a Gigi or a Rebecca or a Jerry. And you all cannot have them, but I'm just saying everybody don't have that. So you got to use what you have to help you navigate through your day-to-day operation. Go back and audit your tasks. Circle back, circle back to see, I said I was going to do X, Y, and Z. Did I do it? Mark it off your list. So now that list of 20 can drop down to 15 or drop down to 10. And so now your brain can process it better. And you feel like I have accomplished something today. And say no, but don't say no in a nasty way, but say no instead of just no with a period, say no with a comma. I'm not going to be able to help you with that right now, Shirley, but let me see who may better assist you. So let's try to find ways to connect those individuals that we have to say no to. Or we might have to circle back and say, hey, you know what? I have so much on my plate right now. You can come back next week and we can revisit it. Maybe I can help you next week, but I can't help you this week because I have X, Y, and Z I need to take care of. Plan ahead at the end of each day. So as Shirley said, you can't do everything right now. So you say to yourself, okay, I didn't finish task 5 through 10. Let me put that on my list of things to do tomorrow. So, hey, to make your life a little bit more easier and run smoother and not feel overwhelmed, and you don't have 50 million things running across your mind when you're trying to get home and rest. Connect daily works to goals. So set you some goals. Say, hey, I might have 20 things on my list today. My goal is to at least accomplish 5 of them. So it's realistic. And again, you're not burning yourself out. At home, incorporate self-care. I cannot stress that enough. Depending upon what you do in your profession, you may spend all your day pouring into somebody else. You may spend all your day building up somebody else. You may spend your day being a sounding board for somebody. So you need to go home and re-energize. And that's why self-care is so important. And keep in mind, if you are at home and you're married, or you at home and you got children, you have to delegate at least an hour and say, hey, unless it's a baby, and babies don't understand, but if they're able to understand, say, hey, I just need an hour, whether that's an hour in the shower or just you in the bathroom reading and solving puzzles, whatever your hour want to be, that's your self-care before you now got to go out and tackle home now. And Kathy, to stop multitasking. Just say, hey, if I'm going to do laundry for an hour, I'm going to do laundry for an hour. If I'm going to do X, Y, and Z for an hour, I'm going to stick to X, Y, and Z. Because sometimes we overwhelm ourselves with multitasking too. It does sound good, but a lot of times it's more stressful than we even realize. Now, the benefits of time management. Feel like you have more time in your day. Woo! Can everybody say woo-side? When you're intentional, like I said earlier about the chess game, intentional about where your time is going. Just like the person who spoke to us early and shared her testimony on being intentional and knowing where her time is going, because it does make a difference. You may find that you reduce unnecessary tasks, deprioritize work that doesn't need to get done today, and accomplish things in less time. You won't literally have more time in your day, but you may find that you accomplish more in the same amount of time. I think I'm going to read that one more time. Feel like you have more time in your day. When you're intentional about where your time is going, you may feel that you reduce unnecessary tasks, deprioritize work that doesn't need to get done today, and accomplish things in less time. You won't literally have more time in your day, but you may find that you accomplish more in the same amount of time. Another benefit, establish boundaries between work and personal time. Improve your time management isn't about squeezing out every second of productivity you have at work. Rather, these strategies can help you get your most important work done and identify what work can wait until tomorrow. By prioritizing the work that needs to get done today and clarifying what work you can defer to a later day, you're also establishing boundaries between your work time and your personal time. Reduces stress. Without effective time management, it can feel like you never have enough time at work. You might feel like you're running around and putting out fires, which can lead to increased stress and ultimately burnout. In fact, according to the Anatomy of Work Index, 71% of knowledgeable workers reported feeling burned out at least once in 2020. 71%, that's a high percentage. And I'm sure if we were honest with ourselves, we'll probably fall right there in that 71 percentile as well. It improves productivity. There are a variety of time management tips to help reduce procrastination and increase productivity. By identifying your main priorities for the day, you won't just be more productive, you can also feel confident that you're working on the right things each day. Another benefit of time management: break bad habits. No one wants to procrastinate, but over time, bad habits can pile up and get in the way of high impact work. Trust us, we've been there too. Yes, time management strategies can help you identify and break out of bad habits. Example of time management skills. Shirley.
Yes.
Give us some of these examples of time management skills.
Okay. That would be focus, organization, self-motivation, planning, prioritization, communication, judgment, problem solving, technical expertise.
All right. Now, what are the mental health benefits of time management? See how everything goes full circle. Back to that self-care. More time for leisure and self-care. According to research, leisure activities can be a buffer against stressful experiences, promoting a sense of well-being and self-fulfillment. The benefits of time management skills may reduce the risk of mental health conditions like depression. Self-care may involve activities like mindfulness, meditation, yoga, nature walks, spending time with family, and journaling, among others. When you have time to schedule one or more of these practices into your days with regularity, you may see long-term benefits from them. What about work-life balance? People who use effective time management techniques often do not invest all their energy, mental health, and well-being into their professional life. According to studies by the World Health Organization, WHO, conducted in 194 countries, working more than 55 hours a week has been associated with over 23.3 million work-related injuries and illnesses like heart disease and stroke, and in some cases, overworking has led to death. Let me stress that again. A study conducted in 194 countries, working more than 55 hours a week has been associated with over 23.3 million work-related injuries and illnesses like heart disease and stroke, and in some cases, overworking has led to death. Let's let that marinate. Achieving a work-life balance creates the opportunity to take on only what you can healthily complete while prioritizing your social, emotional, educational, and personal life. If you often work to a point where you have trouble finding the energy to connect with your friends, family, or partner, you might be experiencing an unhealthy workload. Improved ability to set boundaries. People who have poor time management skills might make sacrifices in their day to complete tasks they have procrastinated. or they may agree to attend events as a means of further procrastinating. This approach can lead to burnout and or difficulties meeting deadlines. Time management can require setting healthy boundaries regarding your time. This process might look like saying no to an outing with friends, denying an extra shift, or taking a mental health day when needed. Reduces chance of burnout and chronic stress. Mental burnout has been connected to high levels of chronic stress and may cause mental health conditions such as depression. Burnout is common in a stressful lifestyle that places individuals under excessive pressure, like a job that continually expects you to take on overtime hours or pushes you beyond your mental health limits. When you manage your time effectively, you can devote a moderate amount of energy and productivity to each scheduled block of your day so as not to exceed your cognitive load. You can also reduce stress by scheduling time for leisure or self-care. If you are unsure about what stress and burnout can look like, below are a few of the symptoms. Number one, physical and mental exhaustion. Having them brain fogs, like, oh my goodness, what was I supposed to be doing? Where did I put such and such? Oh man, who was that I just got off the phone with? Lack of enjoyment of activities that used to bring you joy. Reduced performance at work or school. Difficulty prioritizing relationships or practicing self-compassion. Physical symptoms like headaches, gastrointestinal problems. A sense of numbness or apathy. Difficulty being creative. Reduces anxiety and depression. Those who prioritize self-care, relationships, sleep, and relaxation may be less likely to experience anxiety disorders and depression. Using time management to prioritize well-being can also have physical health implications, potentially leading to improved health. Time management can give you more time to clean your home, focus on self-care, treat physical symptoms, and relax. Time for social connections. Social connections can play a significant role in physical, emotional, and mental health. If you do not maintain a healthy time management strategy, you might prioritize other tasks before social life, which could reduce connections, cause loneliness, and isolation. Even if you live with family, friends, roommates, or a partner, spending most of your time at work or completing stressful tasks may reduce the amount of fulfilling quality time you get with those you love. Management can open up the doors to authentic connections. Improved sleep. Even if it is unintentional, poor time management may lead to a sleep deficit due to procrastination or taking on more than you can handle. Studies reiterate the importance of sleep, showcasing how getting the proper amount can lead to health and public wellness. If you can manage time effectively, you may notice free time open up at the end of your day. If you wake up at the same time in the morning each day, you can ensure you go to sleep at a reasonable hour at night. Adults will require at least 7 hours of sleep per night as the most reciprocated point during sleep occur during a deep sleep. So it is restorative that we get these 7 hours, at least 7 hours a night. Now, in the words of Walt Disney, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Do I have any questions?
No question for me, Melanie, but I want to let you know this has been a very beneficial workshop. This is Patricia Fletcher ever speaking to you, but I just want to let you know it's right on point, right on time, and I need to do what Walt Disney just said. Okay.
I know that's right.
And I would just like to add that this presentation has really been enlightening, and that you've just given a lot of tools for us to add to our toolbox, and spoke a lot on the self-care, which is so important, because you can't pour from an empty cup, and we have to take care of ourselves first. And self-care is not selfish.
No, it is not.
And in the chat box, I see excellent training, and this was this was really good. Enjoyed the training. Thank you so much, Melody. And can everyone just give some emojis? Thank you, Melody, for this awesome presentation. Okay. Okay. All right. And in the chat box, it's just a lot of thank yous, and enjoyed the training, great information, everything.
Well, thank you all. It has been my pleasure, and it has been very beneficial to me as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And as always, as Ms. Edwards just said, but we would definitely like to thank you for always coming to the call, always being ready to be a guest speaker at one of the educational sessions, because we do have one every month. And for the month of October, yes, workforce development. So that was great, wonderful information. So thank you again, Melody.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, and in the chat box, awesome training. Are we able to get a copy of the recording? Okay, so we'll talk with Sheena and all about that. Okay. All right. Are there any questions for Melody? Oh, Danita. Okay. Respond to the family. Okay. The same thing. It was just the same question. So we're good. Does anyone else have anything they would like to add at this time? Okay, Cynthia, are you saying something? If so, you're on mute. Oh, she must be talking. Okay. All right. Well, I would like to make some quick announcements. Do you all still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Let me make some quick announcements. Okay, for this month, it was workforce development with Melody. For the month of November, it will be the regional partner network meeting on November the 20th. For December, there will not be a meeting. In January, the topic would be developers slash contractors. February, rehabilitation. March, the topic would be advocacy. April, housing resources. And May, always the annual housing conference. And there will be more information coming out on this. Again, we would like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules. And we hope that you found it enlightening. We hope that you learned a lot, that you open up those two boxes to put all this information in. And by all means, join us again for our meetings. And now to flip on the other side, Shirley Ingram as the one-stop operations manager, I do have one-stop partner meetings that you all are always invited to as well. But I was privy to be a part of the Southwest Georgia Housing Task Force, and I've really enjoyed it. I thank you all for welcoming me in on that, so that I can be an asset and contribute my little knowledge to things. But without all of you partners, without all of you coming together to work with us, we would not be able to get things done. So no, each and every one of you are important in your own ways, and we really appreciate you. Now, I would turn it back over to the I would turn it back over to our director, Miss Patricia Edwards. And Miss Sheena, did you have anything you
Yes.
wanted to say? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to add an announcement that in the chat I put a link. This is where you're going to find resources and information from all of our educational sessions. So
Okay.
I put that link in the chat, and to also one of our sponsors, Georgia Act, has their affordable housing conference, which is tomorrow. So you still have time to register if you would like to attend, and it's in Atlanta. So it's tomorrow from 8 to 6.
Okay. And Sheena, that's totally in person. It's not virtual, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and the cost for that?
Let's see here. Because it's actually $200.
200. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so very much for that.
You're welcome.
Okay. Miss Edwards, do you have anything else you would like to add?
Just to say that in regard to Dr. Bambi Hayes Brown, she's part of our task force, always very instrumental in the things that we do. And for those local governments, and if you are a strong advocate in behalf of housing, that housing conference is where to be on tomorrow. A lot of resources, a lot of knowing what's going on as it relates to the laws of the state, so forth and so on. So if you haven't already registered, and you're not going to, and you have interest in this area, please go to Georgia Act. It is
I'm putting the
going to
link
be
in
a
the chat.
benefit for you to be a part of that. We're a couple of us are going on tomorrow, leaving. It's a day trip, and so we'll be making our way there. Again, thank you, Ms. Melanie Pierce. It was an awesome presentation. Thank you, Shirley. You are just an invaluable resource and benefit for the Housing Task Force. Your energy, I'm gonna Miss Get Her Done, because she will get it done. Her eyes, she's a very unique person, and she's very instrumental for anything she's ever been a part of. She gives her whole self to. She's not new to this. She's true to this, and she's all about it. So I'm not just saying that because she's in my face. She knows even when she was with the city of Albany, she's had that same spirit always. So she carries it and she wears it well. Again, for those
can I
of you
say
taking
this
the
about
time,
Shirley?
Okay.
huh?
Can I just throw this in about Shirley?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yesterday we had 0 registrants. And Shirley said, no. So she's true to this. I just wanted to
That's what I
add
said.
that.
She's
We
not.
had 0.
She's true to this. She's Miss Get Her Done. She'll remind her. She's very, very, for whatever she's involved in, she literally is involved in. She's a little miracle worker, but we are so appreciative to have her as part of our team. And she's very vested, and we appreciate it. And again, for those of you who have taken the time, I know it was worth your time today to be on here. It was well worth your hour and a half investment in today, because you all will manage your time well from now on. Yes. So we appreciate you. And with that being said,
Okay, Pat, I just want to say one last thing. Thank you all so much for my flowers and everything, so I can hear this, that is not be saying over me, but it's saying to me. So thank you so very much. And in addition to that, each and every one of you that has joined today, I would like to thank you all, because without you all being so instrumental and just coming and being so supportive, we wouldn't be able to get things done. So we definitely need you, and we thank you all for partnering, for always being supportive. Please know that it's always a team. It's not just Shirley, it's you all, because and I appreciate it so very much. Again, I am so glad that I'm able to that this is being said to me now and not being said over me, because I wouldn't even know what you said. But thank you so very much. In addition, Miss Edwards, thank you so much. Sheena, you and Barbara are just awesome. And Melody as our funder as well for WorkSource Southwest Georgia. Again, thank you for always coming to the call. Without you all, we could not do what we do. You all are instrumental. And again, thank you, and thank you. And that's the end of church now. But thank you, and thank you. And again, welcome to those who joined from from Atlanta on today, because again, we know that you had things that you could have been doing, but we are so glad that you joined us. And that is all I have to say. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Please be safe. Take care of yourselves.
Shirley,
Yes.
just let's give a big shout out. I think she may be gone, but let's give a big shout out to our DCA rep, Heather Sharp. She's on the line.
Yes.
So
Is
we're
Heather
glad
still
that
on?
Heather is, yeah, she's here, but we were just glad
Yes,
that
she's still here.
there
There
she is.
she
She's
goes.
waving. We're glad
Okay.
to have
I'm
DCA.
here.
Okay. Heather, would you like to say something right quick?
And I mean, great session. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're glad to
Definitely.
have DCA as part of us. Thank you, Shirley. You can go ahead and take us on out.
Okay.
I
All
think we're
right.
on our
Again,
point. We said 10 to 11:30. I think we're in time.
yes, we are doing perfect. Right quick, a half a second. Did anybody else have anything that they would just like to say? If it's just hey, bye. Michelle from Atlanta. Do you have anything you would like to add right quick?
No, I don't, but I do want to say thank you so much for inviting me. It was great information. So I got a lot of information and notes that I've taken. So yes, I really appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you, Michelle.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Anybody else? Okay. Again, thank you all. Have a beautiful day. Should you need me, you know how to reach me. You have that cell phone number and you have my email. And look forward to talking with you all soon. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone. See you next time.